And then there were 8, 3 races left to twist your fate. 8 drivers with a clean slate. The rest of the field, you're too late. The Dark 8 is the doorway to Hell's Gate. Now who gets the championship date?
Just a week ago, the first of the championship challengers were confirmed. Now, as we reach the middle race of the Dark 8, the question is, who will join Ryan Truex in a battle for the championship? This is the Thunderclap iRacing Series playoffs presented by TLC Incorporated, coming from Iowa Speedway as we go truck racing in the middle of the cornfields of Iowa here on Grid Vision. Good evening, everyone. Justin Prince, Brian Britt, Austin Jarby Shower alongside as we get set to go racing from Newton, Iowa tonight. The short track known for being difficult, compared to Richmond by some, compared to Rockingham by others. The difficulty is the same. It's about being able to conquer this multi-groove racetrack if you want a shot at the Lightning 4.
Yeah, definitely going to be so exciting to see these guys go to battle here at Iowa Speedway, one of my favorite tracks of all time. I mean, I wish the Cup Series would come here. 0.88 miles, and you talk about multi-groove. That is exactly the case here. Of course, there are some difficult parts of this racetrack. Turn 1 and 2 in the middle of the corners there is a bump that could send you careening up the racetrack or possibly down it. So these guys are definitely going to have to be careful with that. Tire saving is huge at a track like this as well, Justin.
Well, you drivers were able to settle things around, and at one did send themselves to the championship for grouping. Ryan Truex getting the win at Pocono. Try and get things done tonight at this cool racetrack to try and help grow things more. But there are more drivers looking to try and join them tonight. We can look towards those playoff standings. Sean Bowdy has the biggest point cushion entering the night by 43 points. George Jurassic, and then it's tight. Matt Garrett and Roger Diebold, 1 point separation. Tyler Truex 4 out. Matt Cherry 7 points out. And John Freeman 16 points out with 2 races to go before the cut.
Yeah, that's going to definitely make this really tight. I think the end of this race, the results of this race could easily determine who goes on to the championship for and who doesn't. So, I mean, it's getting so close to crowning the champion. I mean, we've seen tight racing all season long. I am just so excited to see what the conclusion of this season is going to look like, and I think we're getting very close to that.
discuss coming into tonight, but first to remind you what's happened so far this week and what's coming up this week here on Grid Vision. Plenty of racing action around the corner as we get ready for build week. Of course, tonight, Thunderclap action. Tuesday, things going off for the night for Champion with the new build coming up next week. But NIS Open is still in full force. Darlington Raceway the focus. Lots of teams circling their calendars for that race. Stay tuned, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the virtual racing from the place they call to Tame. Just a few minutes until we get to the starting grid. Drivers in the midst of their drivers' meeting and about to start final warm-ups for tonight, Brian. Lots to be on stake for tonight. 21 entrants in tonight's grid, keep in mind. But all that being said, it's still Iowa, and it's still difficult to win here.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly difficult to win here tonight, Justin. Of course, just a little bit of the details of the race here. 150 laps on the docket here tonight. Stages are 20 and 60. Now, those are going to be something that we're going to circle as well, those stages. Those points are going to be incredibly important. Of course, 4 sets of tires down in the pits for these guys to change into. Lap, the fuel window, I do believe, is 60% fuel here tonight, so 45 laps is about as far as you can make it here. But I think these guys are going to probably want tires before it comes to that. But definitely going to be important to keep in mind on the tires there for sure. 71-degree trackside, pretty cool temperatures right now, so I think it's going to be quite grippy on the racetrack in these trucks.
About 2.5 minutes before we get things going to tonight's starting grid. First things first, we'd like to take the time to remind you that tonight's action brought to you in part by TLC Incorporated, the premier service provider for lawn sprinklers, landscape lighting, drainage services, and garage makeovers with nearly 40 years of experience. In just one day, your home can become a showcase with a new water-saving lawn sprinkler system, an energy-efficient landscape lighting system, or a brand new garage makeover and floor that will last you a lifetime. Imagine all the possibilities if you gave your yard just a little TLC. Operating in the Maryland and DC and Virginia areas, call 888-PIC-TLC for more information. Also, something that may intrigue you and interest you. Remember the coverage a few months ago of the Case Cracker 200? Well, after 2 years of successful exhibition events such as that, the 24 Beers of Daytona, and the Snowball Beer Brawl, Bo Condon has formed the RL Productions Thunderclap Exhibition Series. All Thunderclap exhibition events will now be unified as a team-based championship and will introduce new events such as the Corna Senka, the Turkey Trot at the Glen, and the New Year's Resolution Eliminator. It's a wild series of mixed classes and tip classes that you don't want to miss, and you'll see it all live here on Grid Vision starting November 3rd with the La Corna Senka. Be sure to keep an eye on that one and all those special events throughout this offseason.
Yeah, sounds like some wild events that they have planned for sure, and glad that they're going to, put their trust us in Grid Vision to cover that for sure. Man, that is going to be some fun ones for sure. I don't know if we want to interview with those guys. They might be a little inebriated.
We've seen how crazy things got with the Case Cracker 200 with a few drivers. But in turn, just a few moments away from tonight's action, who do you think looks the strongest when it comes to tonight? Just a few seconds away from the grid, who do you think's the strongest in terms of momentum for a track like this?
That's a tough question. This is going to be a very make-or-break type of race. I think it's going to be all about consistency. I'm looking at drivers like, of course, Jordan Jurassic. Track position, I think, is going to be pretty important here. But I'm looking at Roger Debold. He is -1 below that cut line. We know that whenever the chips are down, whenever that guy, Debold, is backed into a corner, he's willing to do about anything. He's very consistent. So I expect Roger Debold. I think he's going to be the one to make it, above that cut line. It just depends on who's going to be the one that gets kicked out. Someone has to lose, of course, next week at, I do believe, Michigan.
Few drivers of note have provisionals, including John Freeman, who is moving currently. He is not in tonight's starting grid. Who is in tonight's starting grid? His teammate Jordan Jurassic's up on the pole tonight, Matt Cherry alongside. That is Matt Garrett and Sean Bounty, all drivers who have been strong on the short tracks. Remember, Garrett had a chance of winning at Dover just a few weeks ago. Tyler Chalk returning to action once more, starts 5th, with Greg McConaughey in 6th. Noah Rainwater in 7th. Then Thomas Aaron in 8th. Rounding out the top 10, Steve Lachinsky and Tyler Truex rounding out your top 10.
11th place, Anthony Burleson. I do believe we need to wish him a happy birthday as well. Happy birthday, Anthony. 12th place, Roger Debo. 13th place, Robert Condon. 14th, Chase Leahy. 15th, TJ Lee. 16th, Bobby Grant. 17th, Justin Clapper. 18th, Daniel Half. 19th, Damian Neeson. 20th, Brandon Schumann. And rounding out, I do believe this 21 car field is Kyle Newkirk. I do believe Newkirk, though, has missed the grid, if I'm not mistaken.
He has filed for a provisional due to technical issues because of storms on the East Coast. Hurricanes currently affecting parts of the country. That's with those affected by the current storm situations. But as we get ready for tonight's action from the Midwest, your keys to win from Iowa.
As I said before, consistency. Hitting your marks is going to be the big thing here at this racetrack. You're going to really want to get off these corners in the correct way as well at Iowa. Iowa is truly a track that requires you to have gradual throttle application. You can't treat it like an on and off switch at this racetrack. If you do, you're going to end up spinning out, especially coming out of turn 4.
Just a few seconds away from the start of tonight's action. Again, the last short track race of the season here in Thunderclap competition. Who gets it done tonight here at Iowa? Then it's down to a 2-miler and a 1.5-mile facility to close out the campaign. Glad to have you with us here on Grid Vision for coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series playoffs presented by TLC Incorporated. In control for the TLC start zone, Jordan Jurassic. He's been lights out in qualifying all season. Can he get the job done to advance to the Lightning 4 after securing his 8th pole of the season? Green flag is out. We're racing from Iowa.
Really good restart there for Jordan. He's going to definitely secure that lead. Slides up right in front of Tyler Chalk, or should I say Matt Cherry. That's exactly what you're going to want to see there. You want to really arc the corners here. Side by side, though, still for second. Almost 3 wide developing there for 4th, or should I say 5th.
Sean Bowdy making things work on the second groove. Cherry staying up top side. Jurassic playing the tire save line and the defensive line as he leads the first lap of 150.
I really like this line that Matt Cherry's using. He's really extending the track, really widening the arcs. Oh, big moment there for Matt Garrett. Garrett's going to fall outside of the top 5, but he does save the vehicle. That was almost he could have easily had a bigger issue there, but it looks like we do have some very close battling there for the 4th place position still, as I do believe Tyler Chalk, Sean Bounty, and Greg McConey are battling. Of course, Greg McConey, I do believe last round got knocked out, still showing a lot of competitive spirit.
Yeah, he's really picked it up here in this round, albeit knocked out for championship contention. He set himself last time out. Now we can focus on just going for wins. And if anything, he's performed 10 times better in the past 2 weeks already with the starting position, but also the fact he was a contender all race at Pocono.
Yeah, I hated I missed that race, but I mean, a lot of times you perform better when you don't have that pressure, and I think that he doesn't have that championship kind of on his shoulders right now. He's just kind of like, I'm out here for fun. I'm going to try to get wins, and you know, a lot of times when you race like that, you race a lot better.
Taking a look at the battle for second, Sean Bounty using the second line, Jordan Jurassic preferring the first groove. Now keep in mind, with it being a multi-groove racetrack, some drivers prefer that top to middle groove where you get more speed off the exit, but you also burn the right front. The bottom line, which I may or may not have started a couple years ago, has become the popular line to save tires up against the yellow line.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things about this racetrack is you have choices, you have options, but your options have consequences. And I'm sure even though when you're running on that bottom line, you're still burning something up. No matter what your choice is, you're going to end up finding yourself dealing with those consequences. And we see side by side for second place. Bounty definitely utilizing that higher line. Now that's the fast line around Iowa. I mean, that's the line that I love to run around this place. You're just able to get such good runs on exits, and that's the key at a track like this. But like you said, he's probably going to start to get tighter and tighter as the run goes on with those front tires starting to burn up.
In turn, though, with that top groove for the pass, Bounty at least at the stripe getting second. Again, remember, we're racing to lap 20 for the end of this first stage. Jurassic still not able to fully clear either to be able to solidify things in the midst of that fight. Your biggest mover, by the way, in the very early going, Justin Clapper, Brandon Schumann, 4 apiece with Roger Diebold. And Diebold, amongst those on that cut, look to see what happens in the 38 tonight. He was also someone who got beaten and battered around last time out and still nearly had a chance at the win before getting beaten and battered again after fixing 2 meatball flags in one race.
Yeah, you can see this battle right now between Jurassic and Bounty is bringing Greg McConey into the fray, as well as Tyler Chalk. Of course, Matt Garrett. Diebold is not far back.
Hold on. Matt Garrett's up the track because Roger Diebold bumped into him.
I mean, he's desperate. You got to think he's 1 point outside of the top 4. He's going to do anything he can here, but it still is not over. The battle is still on the way. It looks like we got a battle for the lead as well as Jurassic gets to the inside of Cherry for a moment there.
A little bit dicey still up at the front, and now some of that tire wear coming into play. It's sort of like Bristol, where a lot of drivers prefer the bottom there, Brian. Eventually, the bottom line becomes the faster line because of that tire save.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you got to keep in mind that Cherry was in clean air. I mean, sometimes clean air can be a disadvantage, depending on how the fixed setup in here is kind of, the settings on it. I mean, it could be definitely hurting him being in that clean air. You might actually want to be in the dirty air and have a little bit less downforce. We'll have to see how that plays out, but Jurassic definitely looking like he has got the tire saving down pat.
Jurassic looking for the rotation. Cherry with the exit off still. Able to defend for now. Less than 10 laps to go in the stage already. 7 to go in stage 1. Here's a look again from Bounty. And Bounty is the big advantage or big example of that second groove. Already seen the difference bottom to middle. He is struggling even to get close to the battle.
One thing about this racetrack, though, I love is that you can clearly see that top line is so it's easy to defend up there against someone that's encroaching on you. And even if that guy is saving his tires better, he's going to end up pushing it a little bit harder to try to get around you on the bottom, and that's going to kind of equalize the tire wear in some regards. So keep an eye on that. Also, I love this track because of how trail braking is so important. You really don't want to mash the gas or brake very hard. You kind of want to brake gradually throughout the whole corner. This is such a subtle style racetrack that you want to use every bit of the resources you possibly have at your all the inputs you possibly can. As Cherry gets incredibly tight up to a wall, and here comes Jurassic. This is just what Jurassic needs. He's going to take the lead.
Jurassic taking away the second line, in fact, to make things work. Jordan Jurassic back up to the point. 5 laps to go in stage 1. Cherry stays in line. And now the tightness really coming into play here. Let's take a look at the replay. You've seen it down the back straightaway. Nearly added some paint to the wall.
Yeah, he did. He got really tight out of turn 2, I do believe it was. You see he sailed in, just did not rotate good enough. He started getting really tight up into the wall nearly. I'm surprised he didn't hit it there.
And in turn, Jurassic with the Ladar able to take away the preferred groove. And now he's back to the bottom line with the rotation, able to get to the top for the wall for the straightaway. Looking over at the Joker paint scheme. That's with the San Diego Comic-Con around the corner, mind you. So he takes a lot of inspiration for that, along with the sponsor for tonight's action. But in turn, Bounty looking solid as well. 3 to go on the stage.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of drivers having significant fall off compared to others. You know, I'm looking at Matt Cherry, 24.537. Bounty, he's definitely fallen off. McConey. Thomas Aaron looks really good right now. Looking at his lap times, he's been a couple tenths faster than the rest of the drivers. Also, Roger Diebold's been looking good. I don't know, lap time-wise. I think he's being held up by Tyler Chalk right now. But we're seeing a lot of drivers
trouble, front straightaway. Robert Condon slowed down the front. After contact with TJ Lee, we stay green, coming up to 1 to go in stage 1.
That is unfortunate to see that for sure. Lee was showing some really good lap times as well.
So that drops from 19th to 20th. 1 to go in the stage, brought to you by RO Productions. This nearly end of the stage right here.
You see right there, Lee, I think, got a little tight out of turn 4, as well as Condon came down a little bit. They met in the middle, and luckily they were able to save that, and they're both going to probably stay on the lead lap. I don't think they got too much damage there.
Jordan Jurassic coming out of turn 4 takes the win in stage 1. Some critical playoff points there as Matt Cherry, Sean Bounty, Greg McCarty, Thomas Aaron, your top 5, Chalk, Diebold, Garrett, and Lachinsky, as well as Tyler Truex inside the top 10 positions. We'll take a quick break. Strategy coming up. You're watching Grid Vision here for Thunderclap.
SRI Performance. With over 400 product lines representing the top manufacturers in motorsports, we are your one-stop shop for everything racing. 3 of our brick-and-mortar stores are located in North Carolina, and our newest facility in Brownsburg, Indiana. And 4 trackside mobile stores. You can find us spread out throughout the nation. With industry-leading knowledge, we are only a phone call away to visit our customer service experts. And don't forget, we have the world's largest inventory of used race parts. SRI Performance, and stock car steel and aluminum for everything racing.
Hey, Bob Carr here at TLC. Take a look at some of the specials we're running at TLC right now. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Storms are in the forecast, so if you have a problem with water standing in your yard, in your basement, now's the time to give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342. We'll be glad to provide you with a free, no-obligation drainage proposal for your property. Give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342 or hit the link below. We'll respond back to your email, set you up for a free, no-obligation quote for your drainage needs. Let's solve that once and for all. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Now's the perfect time to have your landscape lighting system tuned up for the upcoming summer months. Give us a call here at the office at 410-721-2342. And let's get you some light out there. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Welcome back to Grid Vision as we watch the Thunderclap iRacing Series playoffs presented by TLC Incorporated and also brought to you in part by RL Productions, a Baltimore-based national video marketing agency specializing in video marketing solutions and commercial advertising. RL Productions offers customized strategies tailored to your company or organization's unique goals with in-house level attention to detail. RL Productions also offers complete international event solutions for your conference and convention needs with both on-ground and live stream production capabilities. Visit rlproductioncrew.com to turn your expectations into real-life productions. Political signal just taken, and the field now taking a different look because a lot of strategy deciding. Up at the front, about 8 drivers, actually 9 when you include Robert Condon, deciding to take fuel only and save a set of tires, everybody else taking 4 Brian.
Yeah, this is incredibly interesting, to say the least. I mean, of course, Jordan Jurassic, who won that stage, he is, I do believe, the first driver that's on new tires. He's back, I do believe, in 8th place. Also, we see Thomas Aaron deciding to start at the top. I really like this decision. I mean, the launches at Iowa on the top are going to be really good, but of course, these guys on older tires, this could be a recipe for disaster.
So the mechanical engineer and alumnus of the University of North Texas in control of the field, back underway. Chase Leahy follows suit. Tyler Truex trying to get things gathered up on the bottom.
Yeah, I think Tyler Truex did this pretty much out of desperation. He knows he needs as many points as he can get. He probably needs to win a race, essentially. If I'm not mistaken, he's near last in the points pylon.
-4 coming into tonight, actually, Brian, but he did not really do well in terms of gaining points compared to his rivals in the stage points. Tyler Chalk nearly to the back end of Lachinski. Jordan Jurassic is the first on 4 tires. That's currently becoming very prevalent, as you can tell.
Yeah, very obvious that he's on newer tires. He's driving by these guys like they're not moving. I mean, he just has the ability to stick that nose and be able to, have the truck stick wherever he wants it to go. As he comes off of turn 4, he's going to be up into the top 4 now. And it's probably going to be up in the lead, I'd say, in a couple laps.
Keep in mind, half the field has 3 sets remaining, half the field 4 sets remaining in the pits. Could come into play if there's an extra caution or 2 in the last stage. All that's well. Jurassic 3 wide for a second. Had to back out of it.
Wow. Definitely some awesome racing here. That's why I love this track. I mean, you could have 3 wide. Here comes Matt Cherry to the inside of Tyler Truex as well. He's trying to get up there to the 6 of Jurassic. Now, we know Cherry was not as nice to his tires on the longer run, so watch out for that. Also, you see Moundy as well. So it looks like new tires pretty much are all on the bottom.
Find the paint scheme very interesting, let's just say that tonight. It almost looks like he's trying to become the Masters TV channel for golf. All while Cherry's trying to master the bottom. He's up to second, Jurassic's to the lead. And also following suit is Sean Boundy. So the top 3 on the track, staying top 3 from stage 1 up now to start stage 2. Just 5 laps to get from the back to front.
Yeah, it shows how important these tires are. It did not take them long at all to get up to the front. But here comes Sean Boundy to the inside of Matt Cherry. And he's going to make that pass stick. I think Cherry might be trying to save his equipment a little bit more than he did that last run.
It almost looks like Sean Bounty's picked up some notes, hearing how Jurassic was using the tire saving on the bottom. Compare that to some of the others in the mid-pack here. See Munsto's trying to charge ahead. Roger Debo looking right now for 6th. Matt Garrett also behind him on fresh tires on the bottom. Keep in mind, Matt Garrett had to fix damage, Brian, because of that contact from Debo. Significant back-end damage. Spent 37 seconds in the pits, and he's already gained back most of his spots.
Yeah, he's looking really good in that Motorola machine there. He's wrapping right around the bottom. Very strong race so far.
Well, you've seen just with how the springs were in that past angle. If we can look back to that again, that's how much bump there is in this racetrack. You talked about the bumps. Those springs have to handle them. Look how close it has to be to the track.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is definitely a track that the bumps are very prevalent. I mean, especially in turn 1 and 2. I'd say that's where they're most significant, most noticeable, especially in the middle of the track. If you hit that middle of the groove of the track, it's going to send you up the track. And I think that's kind of what Matt Cherry realized a little bit earlier in the race, as we see a lot of side-by-side battling. I think that's Justin Clapper versus Daniel Half.
Half running the bottom, middle line right now, Clapper and Chalk. Rainwater doing the same. All while up in the wall goes Lachinski. Half makes the pass on him. Tyler Truex nearly across Half nose. Leahy trying to run the 3rd line.
Yeah, this track is definitely producing some fantastic racing right now. But you can just clearly see the guys that were on old tires that stayed out, they are falling back quite quickly as we see 3 wide developing here. Clapper might be in the middle here.
Trouble.
Oh, caution's out.
Eagles will creations caution, our first for incident, our second total. Damian Neeson going around, Grant as well. And we're under caution once more. First time in a while we've seen Bobby Grant just a 6th start this season. 44th in points. He gets involved with the 24 here in his first start since Richmond in May.
You see he got his nose right above the 24. The 24 thought he was probably clear and was not. I mean, it's fairly normal for you to try to track out to the wall out of turn 4. But I think the 24 just tried to do that, just did not realize that the 11 there, should I say the 14 was, his nose is above him there. You see right here. Well, oh, maybe I spoke too soon. It looks like the 24 got a little bit loose. A little bit of a wiggle there, probably overcorrected it up into the 14.
So the Jacksonville, Florida driver, Bobby Grant, gets involved in the caution.
You see right here, there's going to be a little bit of a wiggle there for the 24. Right there. He goes up
Yep.
the track.
And you just can't do that.
Yeah, it's easy to do that right there, too. I talked about treating that gas pedal like a light switch. You can't do that out of turn 4, Justin.
So now under caution in this one. Keep in mind, Bobby Grant also someone, if you look towards the archives from the 2010s, with experience working with pit crews, including with Casey Kane in the past.
Wow.
As well as being a baseball coach.
A man in many titles. That's pretty cool.
Hence why, if you look at his @ symbol, it's old man in a can. Fuel can. All while joining Jurassic just rolling up front here. So this still is about a 20 lap stage or less once we get going. It is a long caution track. So to put that in perspective, lots of time to cool off the tires.
Yeah, you see Bobby Grant and Damian Neeson both getting damage repaired right now. Possibly, hopefully I don't know if they're going to go a lap down. No, I think they have gotten out of the pits and are going to stay on the lead lap. So I speak too soon. Neeson has gone a lap down. So it looks like I think Damian Neeson's damage might have been a little bit worse than Bobby Grant's.
Neeson has been given cause of caution, by the way. So in turn, the 24 will have an end of longest line penalty after all the damage repair. As we're under caution here for tonight's action, these cautions brought to you by Eagleswood Creations, your one-stop shop for your laser engraving needs. From wood to acrylic, custom signs, earrings, keychains, coasters, and much, much more. Located in West Creek, New Jersey, but shipping nationwide. Items can be purchased and custom made via Etsy or through their website at eagleswoodcreations.com, or follow them today on Etsy, Facebook, and at Eagleswood Creations on Instagram. Getting set up potentially for the restart. We'll see if we get the one to go. The iRacing pace truck lights indeed are out. Jurassic choosing the inside, Bounty on the outside.
And we know that on the short run, Bounty was really good on that high side. So I'm not surprised Jurassic chose the bottom, but I don't know. I think that if I was Jurassic, I would want to start on the top. That's just me. But then again, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's been quite a while since I've raced here at Iowa, but definitely interesting to see how this is going to play out. Also, Roger Debo. That's the one I'm really watching. That 38. He's going to be wanting to get as many points as he can here.
See how this goes with a 20-lap shootout for Stage 2. So let's try Stage 1's distance, but with old tires for everyone. 110 to go in the race in of itself. TLC restart zone. Jurassic takes the green.
Yeah, some drivers are on really, really old tires, such as Tyler Truex. But it looks like a very good restart there for Boundary, or should I say Jurassic. He was able to get clear. Matt Cherry trying to battle it out with McConey for the third position. You see Matt Garrett, after his earlier mistake, he's back up into the top 5.
Most of the drivers who stayed out from the stage caution, keep in mind, are 9th on back. The only driver on fresh tires outside of maybe Bobby Grant, who's back there, TJ Lee. Everybody else split out. Warning, lane change. A warning lane change, 2 in the wall. Grant and Schumann, caution is out. Second Eagleswood Creations caution for incident. Grant in back-to-back incidents. And this time, it was 3 wide with the birthday boy.
Oh, yeah, you see Schumann. I think he just got off of the... Might have got into the wall. We might have to go back a little bit further there, but I think Schumann came down into the 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and dragged him all the way to turn 1 in turn. Schumann is given the cause of caution.
Yep. So I figured Schumann into the wall. Go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry.
Yep. I think you were about to say the same thing.
Yeah, you see Schumann, he was in the wall, and you see this time at multiple different tracks. You know, when you get in that wall, it's like a magnet. And he tried to counter steer to get off that wall, and he came down right into Grant. So Grant's just having some bad luck here tonight.
Yep, right there on the swing down. So Grant, more damage likely to repair here. Fortunate he has Michael Grant as a spotter tonight. For reference, the 52, also lawn repairs being taken by Brandon Schumann. He got the worst end of it with the front nose crumpled in. Neeson, by the way, after getting the initial black flag, is still getting repairs done. He has cleared the meatball flag that he had picked up, but has jumped out of the 24 truck while we pace.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You know, definitely hate to see that for him. But, you know, the new damage model on these trucks is, you know, it can be forgiving, but it also can be unforgiving, depending on where you hit that, you know, where you hit at.
So this is going to be a quick stage 2 closing if we go green, mind you. I will say this track gives you a lot of chances to think about and reflect because of the length of the caution period. On average at Iowa Speedway, for those who have ever kept in track, I mention this a lot because it happens a lot, 5 laps under caution per caution period is the track average.
Yeah, at a minute a lap, you definitely got a lot of time to think, that's for sure. And definitely ramps up the intensity when the green flag comes out. I mean, you know, this is a rhythm track by definition, I'd say. And you know, when you have these cautions, it messes that rhythm up in a lot of ways.
Why don't we mention this once more with this caution period? We talked about this at the top during the pre-show, but remember, after 2 years of successful exhibition events held such as the 24 Beers of Daytona, the Snowball Beer Brawl, and the Case Cracker 200, Bo Condon, one of the drivers in tonight's field, running 16th, has formed the RL Productions Thunderclap Exhibition Series. All Thunderclap Exhibition events will now be unified with a team-based championship and will introduce new events such as the Corna Seca, the Turkey Trot at the Glen, and the New Year's Resolution Eliminator. It's a wild series of mixed classes and tip classes that you don't want to miss, and you'll see it here live on Quid Vision starting November 3rd with the Corna Seca. For those who don't understand the pun, that is a road course race at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, which is a track obviously in California. And that track also just so happens to have a corner called the Corkscrew. I don't know if that's involved with the name of that, but you can argue corkscrews are used for something in drinking.
Yes.
Anyhow.
A lot of puns with that exhibition series.
Very punny. Once again, we do not condone drinking and driving when it comes to racing or in any regard. But in turn, let's talk about the racing here on track. Lap 47 being taken, 1 to go signal, this time by Jurassic and Bounty, 1 and 2 much of the way. Cherry McConey, Garrett Diebold, Half, and Thomas Aaron on the old tires is still in the top 8.
Yeah, and Aaron was really good even before that pit stop strategy was kind of made. I mean, the 93 was already, I do believe, up in the top 5 earlier in the race as well. So there's some guys that are really running really well right now. And this strategy to save that set of tire, I think it's worth it. I mean, especially with the way these cautions are following, these guys are not wearing the tires out quite as much as they could be. And they're going to get a fresh set if they can just hold on for another 13 laps, Justin.
Can they? For solid points, again, top 10 score stage points. Lap 60 is the end of stage 2. Jurassic in control for the TLC restart zone. Several sets up in first gear. Bounty spinning the tires a little bit in turn with it.
You see Greg McConaughey trying to almost capitalize on that mistake there. Matt Cherry, very good restart. He might secure second. Look at the run. He's getting on the inside as they are very close, door to door, the 35 and the 67. Big Sin. Oh, Schumann has an issue here. But we do have a new leader, Matt Cherry, with a slide job on Jurassic.
From 3rd to 1st in the span of a restart. Can he run away, though? Remember, he ran away for a little bit in stage 1 before Jurassic made the pass back. Side by side for second might help him a bit. Jurassic up top, Bounty preferring the bottom this run.
I think Cherry's going to be in good shape. I don't think he's really used his tires up as much as he did in that first instance. But here comes Debo to the inside. He's going to take advantage of McConey, and he's going to take over that fourth place position and possibly even third. Debo has been, I think, stalking his prey here this entire time.
Now going to fully rotate off the bottom. Forced to regroup. One of the NASCAR pit crew members getting shuffled back into line. All while Bounty holds on to position. 10 to go in stage 1. Stage 2, rather. 1 and 2 is Cherry and Jurassic on the racetrack, but for how long? Bounty already losing nearly a second with the side by side, popping up for third before.
Yeah, and don't forget, Jurassic is actually starting to run down Matt Cherry again here. So I think this battle for the lead is going to start to heat up again. I think Cherry thought he was going to get away, but I don't think that's actually the case. We see Diebold still stalking Sean Bounty here. Also, what a race from Daniel Half, up to 7th right now. And Aaron, we talked about him, on the old tires, still in 8th.
Yeah, still doing a solid job there, but TJ Lee remembers on fresh tires he is coming and is trying to pass by them all. He is currently the last one in the stage points.
Well, here comes the battle for the race lead. Jurassic getting a heck of a run out of turn 2. And he's going to possibly go side by side here in 3 and 4. He dives to the bottom. I think Cherry's going to get the better run off of turn 4, but I'm just shocked to see. I'm wondering why Cherry suddenly starts falling off. I just don't know exactly what's going on here. But you can see that the runs are coming from Jurassic on the exits of the corners here.
Can he get alongside? He can. Just trying to set him up. Coming to 6 to go in the stage. Cherry on the pinch. Jurassic off the bottom. Forced back out of the gas.
And the same thing is going on for third place as well. You see Debo keeps trying to do the same thing to Bounty. Just cannot get that pass completed. That's one of the difficult things about this track. It's so difficult to pass because that guy that's on the top, he's able to defend. He's able to get the run off the exit when you're not able to. You have to really use more of the track in order to get the run, in order to make the pass complete. But these guys are not going to give you that room. They're going to pinch you down as we come to 5 to go.
Coming quickly through the stage. Jurassic on the build-up again. Cherry's been getting tied off too. Jurassic's been stronger on the back half of the track. Second half of the lap, though, Cherry's had the advantage so far in these late stages. Jurassic on a great setup, though. Side by side for the lead.
I love what he just did there. He backed it up in 3 and 4 and just got a huge run. Can he get it done here? He's got the advantage. Oh, he's so close. Not able to get it done, though. If he can line up another run like that, he might have it.
Remember last time he got a run like that, he was able to use a little bit of the arc. This time he can't get the squeeze. Cherry nearly bobbles down into him. 3 to go on the stage.
They are battling tooth and nail right now. You love to see this. I think Jurassic might have it. You can see that he's just able to get such good rotation. And there he's got it. He has got it. I think Cherry might have let him have it. He's going to try to maybe cross him over. Yeah.
Cherry can't get to him, though, for the time being. Jurassic holds on. Pit lane is closed. 2 to go in stage 2.
Yeah, I say Jurassic is, right now, he is showing that he's pretty much the king of this racetrack. Also, Roger Debold has gotten the pass completed on Bounty. So I would maybe expect him to come up here and maybe challenge Cherry. He's not that far back.
Coming up to 1 to go in the stage. Brought to you by RL Productions. Jurassic up now by 4/10 for the stage win. Several battles are forming up in the later stages here of stage 2. Half and TJ Lee for 7th. People in old tires 9th and 10th position. There's that gaggle. All while things close up on the front straightaway. Jurassic wins stage 2 over Cherry and Diebold. Bounty, McConey, Garrett, Half, Lee can't get past Half. Aaron and Lachinsky close out the top 10.
What a race for stage 2. That was fantastic.
So Jurassic sweeps the stages yet again here tonight. Ken, McLovin, and JWoww have something to celebrate at the team meeting for JCR Racing once McLovin gets back from the move. Stage 3 coming up here on Grid Vision.
Eagleswood Creations, your one-stop shop for wood, acrylic, custom engravings such as signs, boards, earrings, and much, much more. You can follow them today on Facebook, Instagram, or you can check out their website, eagleswoodcreations.com.
You're not alone.
Hey homeowners, you're going to drag your hose through the yard in 2023? There's a better way to water your lawn. TLC Incorporated has been installing custom and professional underground lawn sprinkler systems for over 38 years. Our team would be happy to come out to your property at your convenience and provide you with a free, no obligation quote for a new custom underground lawn sprinkler system for your home. No more dragging the hose. No more dry and dusty patches in your yard. Our smart lawn sprinkler systems will efficiently provide water to your lawn all season long with a healthy green grass from your front yard to your back. Click the blue Learn More button below, and the team at TLC can start building the perfect lawn sprinkler system for your home right away. Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's throw it back to the guys in the booth.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Thundercloud iRacing Series playoffs, brought to you by TLC Incorporated. Its services include custom lawn sprinkler systems, custom landscape and outdoor lighting systems, drainage solutions for flooded and wet backyards, and custom garage floors and makeovers. Call 888-PICK-TLC for more information. After pit stops, Jordan Jurassic and Roger D. Boulder 1 and 2, Bounty, McConey, Garrett your top 5, Matt Cherry having a very off pit stop sequence, dropped to 17th because of a speeding penalty. So Cherry loses track position.
That is a heartbreaker right there. Cherry definitely had a top 5 race car. But then again, I mean, this might force him to save some tire. That's what's going to be huge about this, Justin. This is going to be probably the longest run of the night. I'm not sure. I think these guys are going to have to make one stop. 45 laps, of course, is the fuel window. So these guys are going to pretty much, I think, do at least a 40-lap run if it goes green. So I think Jurassic, we know he's good on the long run. D-Bold, I think he's good on the long run as well. This is when long run guys are going to start to shine.
Based on that window and based on the restart coming up here in about less than 2 laps time, that's not a big window for strategy. You're talking only 4 laps of flexibility for the restart, or rather for the pit stop if it goes green.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I would, if even though there's not a lot of flexibility there, I say you go as long as you can, overcut it. That way you have better tires at the end. A lot of guys might do the short pit to try to jump out and, you know, leapfrog some guys, but I think newer tires are going to be the priority.
Tyler Truex of note has topped off twice this caution period. Robert Condon once. So those drivers are thinking big picture for that pit stop to stretch. Remember, with the pit stop sequence, you can fall up to 2 laps down here at Iowa.
That's interesting. I'm wondering why they're going down a second time like that. That's Tyler Truex. I don't know if I would be gambling with something like that for him. I mean, he's in a bad spot right now. Unless he's really confident about Michigan next week.
We'll see what happens here on the restart. Jurassic and D-Bold, Bounty, McConey, Garrett and Half, Aaron and Lee, Lachinsky and Grant. Your top 10 as they run. TLC restart zone, green flag is out. And the outside line is off and checking.
Yeah, it's going to help out Bounty as Bounty gets side by side with Debo. Can he get clear? If he's not able to get clear here out of turn 2, I think Debo's going to get the run. And I think he does, so they're going to stay side by side for second place. But look at that. Bounty is straight sending it right now as he is just clear, not clear anymore.
A little bit of a tight call again for Diebold. Still able to hold on for the time being, though, up along the top side. Cody shuffles back to 4th spot. So your top 3 and 4, your top 5 playoff drivers currently on the racetrack. Jurassic, remember, has been better on the long run. Bounty has been even, though, around the short to mid run with them. Diebold on the outside on the check.
Bounty getting incredibly, that was a wiggle there. I don't know what that was with the 35. I'm wondering if he maybe pushed it past the limit for those tires. I'm not sure, but now Diebold's going to get the run on the high side. If I was these guys, priority is long run. Try to save tire as best you can. You've seen other drivers suffer because of that. You know, it's really easy to fall into that trap of worrying about the temporary positions. I would worry about my tires. As we see, Diebold actually takes the lead. Look at this.
Up on the second groove doing so. So he uses a little bit of the short run of the tires to make the pass. Bounty looking to do the same. Jurassic staying committed to the strategy, though. Waving goodbye is Diebold for now.
I really like this from Jurassic. I think that he's showing a lot of willpower. You know, he's steadfast in his strategy here. He knows that, hey, you can do this, but in about 10 or 15 laps, I'm going to be catching right back up to you. He understands that the first 5 laps, or first 5 to 10 laps of a run are the most important because that will affect the rest of the stint.
So now Greg McConey doing the same for now, for 3rd spot at least, or attempting to. Keep in mind, it's crazy how the trends can change so much on these types of tracks even. Jurassic still staying to the bottom, obviously, but the top line strat before, Brian, if you remember back to, say, 2019, drivers used to run all the way up against the safer barrier through 3 and 4, rather than run the middle like they do now.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. I mean, you can. This track has a lot of versatility. You have a lot of options at this place. Now Matt Garrett has come up now to Jurassic as well. What a recovery for that 3 machine. Of course, he's one I do believe he needs a lot of points as well, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check my note. And looking at it, I do believe he is he is 1 above the cut line. So he needs a good day in order to secure this top 4.
Well, he's been running well so far in the back half of the race in terms of the distance. Remember, stage 1 had some damage as a result of contact from Diebold. This time having to wait behind in the midst of the checkups for the time being. All while Garrett trying to wheel it in the E-Tower Truex machine. Cody driving for the Next Level Motorsports.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is about as far as we've seen Jurassic fall back. I just don't know. I think he's going a little too far when it comes to the saving. But then again, I mean, he knows best. I think that he's got the strategy in mind. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. I don't know if he's going to fall back any further than the top 5, though, as we see Daniel Half, of course, about 2/10 back from him. And I think now Jurassic has hit the go button. I think he's like, okay, I've saved enough tire. I think that they're gradually have warmed up now. I can get to it. We'll have to wait and see, though. He is definitely painted on that bottom line as Diebold is out to a 1.2 second gap. He is gone.
Is he pushing too far is a major question. Yeah. He's running 24 flats. Jurassic's only running 24 ones. Not that big of a difference for now, but is that sustainable for the course of the run?
I think you raise a good point. I think Diebold is burning it up. I mean, he's starting to trend in the wrong direction. The laps, look at that. Even last time by, he was one of the slowest. He was the slowest in the top 5. So he is starting to lose that gap. I really think that he's doing what Matt Cherry did earlier. So I'd really keep an eye on Roger Diebold. I'm surprised. Usually he's really good at saving tire. I think he's making a crucial mistake here.
Still sticking to the strat. You're still looking at 3rd all the way through the train. And even in the midst of this, McConey and Garrett committed to the top groups. Jurassic starting to get a little bit tight in the draft with the dirty air, but is preferring the bottom more so in 3 and 4 with the line. You see that advantage, why so many drivers prefer to run that bottom groove for the long-term game on the tires. Already a truck length gained on a straightaway to Garrett just by running that bottom line. There it is again.
Yeah, we saw also how hard it was to pass on that bottom, though. But if those guys continue to burn their tires up, it won't be as difficult for Jurassic. But the thing is, the further away Bounty gets, I think that's what we need to keep an eye on. I think D-Bolt is going to eventually get past, but I think Bounty is really the one we should be watching, because I think that if he gets away far enough from Jurassic, I think that we're looking at a different winner.
I'm surprised Bounty's making that top line work the way he is in 1 and 2 more so, because usually in 1 and 2 you talked about the bumps there. The bumps are massive if you're up top there.
Yeah, usually it shoots you up to the wall. I do like what I'm seeing. We're seeing more of a diamond line from Bounty. Bounty's like entering very, very high and then kind of exiting low. So I like what I'm seeing there. I think he's trying to straighten the corners out, and that could save tire a little bit. We'll have to see. I mean, it looks like we'll have to see. I mean, I'm surprised though D-Bolt is actually starting to plateau a little bit here, not falling off quite as much as he was.
Bounty's still a little bit quicker, but is starting to slow down on this diamond line to the point where he's getting tight, you see right there. Of note, Brandon Schumann now officially out of the race. He pulled off the racetrack a couple laps ago. He's now officially pulled out. Technical issues. That leaves 18 cars still running. And keep in mind, in all of this, 2 drivers are banking on chaos during the pit stop window coming up in about 20 laps time. Robert Condon and Tyler Truex have not gained a single position on the racetrack for either of them. They're still 17th and 18th. Tyler Truex, mind you, is in the playoff conversation.
Yeah, he is, but if he doesn't have a good race here tonight, I mean, this could put him in a must-win scenario next week at Michigan, and I just don't know. I just don't know if he's has a lot of speed in that truck. I just don't know if Iowa's his track. I mean, 24.8, that was the slowest time, I think, on the track. One of the slowest, at least. So I'm curious. But we do see, very close racing between Greg McConey and Jordan Jurassic for 3rd place. Man, you can tell Greg McConey is not wanting to let this 6 machine get by.
Kind of proved that point, didn't he, at Pocono? A lot of bumping and banging at one point for the battle for the race lead, and some of the most exciting action for the lead in the mid-race all season. And you see right there, Jurassic's forced to change his line. He's changing his angle because of what's happening here.
Yeah, Greg McConey is making this incredibly difficult for him, and this could be an opportunity maybe for Matt Garrett. You could just tell that Greg McConey does not want to give up this top 3. But I don't know. I think Jordan Jurassic is going to eventually get fed up and might end up throwing a bumper, just considering this is one of those tracks that bump and run is a possibility.
There was a lot of rubbing and bumping, keep in mind, with McConey's race last time. Drivers
now,
did
it
eventually...
involve these 2?
Well, yes and no, but there was apologies afterwards. And also some excitement about how they were racing in turn in the heat of the moment. Jurassic, in the heat of the moment here, nearly clear. And there it is. He slides up to park it.
Yeah, good job for Jordan Jurassic, able to get that pass completed. But this is not good for Jordan, considering he's got 1.3 seconds to get up to Sean Bounty, and then he's got another 1.3 to get up to D-Bolt. He's got to climb a mountain that I don't know if he can climb.
It's going to take a lot of time right now with the strategy. By the way, things are looking dire in the case of Matt Cherry. For those curious, remember his speeding penalty under the caution for the stage. A few laps ago, he picked up some right rear damage, so that quarter panel is very much askew and inside the deck lid.
That is not good at all. See right there, yeah, big concave dent there on the right rear, I do believe.
And when it's crumpled up like that, especially towards the quarter panel, the further back the curl, the looser the car gets, because it basically takes the downforce off the rear tire and just the rear.
I almost think looseness would help you at this track, though.
How about 20% more right rear tire wear?
Yeah, that wouldn't be as good. That's for sure. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing from D-Bolt. I kind of thought that he was going to be falling off substantially with the way he was driving away earlier in this run, but he is actually maintaining quite well. He's not running that much slower than Jurassic. And Bounty's starting to really struggle. I mean, he is 0.2 off the pace compared to first and third right now.
Still holding on to the 2-second plus lead. There's a look at the grouping. Coney, Garrett, and Aaron. And now Garrett nearly pushing to the back end of McConey with the arrow.
Yeah, I think these guys are getting a little bit upset with Greg McConey right now. Matt Garrett's already had quite a run already. I mean, he's probably already somewhat frustrated and heated. So it ain't going to take much to get that 3 machine a little bit even more angry. As we see Thomas Aaron having a fantastic race here. I mean, I'm telling you, even earlier we were talking about the tire strategy there. This driver is earning positions, not just with tire strategy, but just with overall pace. Very good long run speed too.
I was about to say, I wouldn't argue that it'd be the emotions there. It'd be more so just dirty air being dirty air. Justin Clapper, meanwhile, he's battling raindrop. Noah Rainwater trying to run the bottom of the racetrack. At one point was inside the top 10. Not really picking up the track position he needs in these closing stages.
32 laps into this run. I do believe in the next 13 or so laps, we're going to probably be seeing some green flag pit stops. Does Jurassic get this pass completed on Bounty before that happens?
He's already setting it up for the pass. Looking to try and get the run off the corner. Not alongside for Bounty yet. And Jurassic's really changing things up with the diamond approach now. That was working for Bounty for a bit to see if he can get these runs for the pass while sticking to the bottom line once he's single file. There it is right there.
Very awesome move. Really textbook pass there.
Oh,
he's going to get a little tight out of 4, though. Oh, wow, good job to Bounty or Jurassic. If he can just get a good run out of 2, I think he's got this done. I think Bounty's tires are already burned up pretty significantly. But the bad thing is Jurassic's got 2 seconds to get up to D-Bold now. And luckily, he was able to make that pass fairly quick on Bounty. We'll just see what the pace looks like for Jurassic. Did he save his tires enough to be able to catch D-Bold? Does he fall victim to that carrot on the stick mentality?
It's the end of the run, keep in mind. Just about 5 laps away from the green light on fuel, give or take. Of note, Garrett has passed by McConey, so has Thomas Aaron. So those two able to make the pass along the outside groove. McConey dropping back as well to close up this run. Currently about 4 or 5 seconds behind the lead.
I think Thomas Aaron might have a top 5 run here if he keeps this up, or top 3, possibly even top 3. I mean, he's been showing a really good pace, faster than Bounty. I think he's got a top 3 speed here.
Yeah, he's been quietly doing well, I will say, when taking a look at the line, taking a look at the run. Just 9th start of the season, but has done well in all majority of his starts. At the road course at Indianapolis Motor Speedway at top 5 at Kansas, top 10 at Watkins Glen, top 10 at Dover. He's been consistent whenever he's had the time to race.
Yeah, 100%. Now on lap 100, so we are 2/3 done in the race here. Green flag pit stop is going to be starting very, very soon. Does Jurassic short pit a little bit here to maybe get some position as we see the battle for that 4th place position underway? Aaron has been faster than Garrett, but not by much, only a few hundredths.
A lot of searching for grip in the midst of all this. Garrett preferring the top, Aaron preferring the middle groove. Still not able to close up as they go back to the middle for 3 and 4. Speaking of changing up lines, Jurassic has been doing so as well, because previous time by he tested out the top, lost a little bit of ground until the corner exit, has moved back to the bottom, then 1.8 seconds. Right now, about a 10th or 2 quicker compared to D-Bold, and there's the changeup. This is what I've just referred to. Using the top, trying to get the run to get it closer to the 38.
I really like what he's doing here. I think I see exactly what he's doing. See, 1 and 2 is a corner that you, or set of corners that you want to run more of the bottom. You don't want to be in the middle. You see right there, he kind of goes to the bottom. 3 and 4, the top can be a viable decision. I mean, you want to try to straighten off that run that you get off of turn number 4, but he is very much changing it up and experimenting a little bit here, and it's working. I mean, he's gotten about a half a second down out of that gap. I mean, last time by he was 2/10 faster.
That flexibility in terms of the pit window going to be extremely tight. Green light estimated on fuel next time around. But drivers are currently already on 42 laps into the stint.
I'll tell you what these guys don't want to see. They don't want to see Roger Debo win this race. Because if he wins this race, that guarantees him a spot in the Final Four. And that takes a spot away from some drivers. So, you know, that's going to make things a lot more drastic and, you know, a lot more desperation next week at Michigan.
No pit stops taken yet as we take 45 laps to go. Diebold's gap nearly down to about a second. There is a stop at the back now. McCody and Cherry both coming in. This is a very tough pit entry because of not just the fact it's a tight corner in, depending on how you approach it on the apron or whether you cut off turn 4, but just 40 miles an hour to that speed limit. Here comes Diebold coming in for good suit with Sean Bounty following.
Yeah, and you see Jurassic has stayed out. I think he's definitely prioritizing having the newer tires later. So this is very interesting to say the least. We'll see, does Jurassic answer the call and come down now?
No.
I think yep, looks like he's staying out another lap. I think he's gonna empty the tank here.
Thomas Aaron's coming in, though. He's backed it down to the apron. Topper Chalk doing the same, as well as a couple others. Daniel Half joining them. So the slow roll in. No speeding penalties from anyone on the green flag stop so far. Also coming in, Justin Clapper in the sequence, the series commissioner.
What a race we've seen thus far, though. Coming up to 42 laps to go. Jordan Jurassic right now in the lead. Has not taken his pit stop.
TJ Lee, Stephen Lachinsky, Noah Rainwater, Bobby Grant, Robert Condon, Chase Leahy, Anthony Burleson, and Tyler Truex are also currently staying out as long as they can. Bounty has had an issue on the pit exit. He's had to come back down. The 35 has had to come back down to the pit lane. Looks to be a cone violation.
Oh, my word. That is not good for Sean Bounty. That is going to be a ton of positions that he's probably going to go a lap down here. Yeah, 2 laps down right now, possibly more.
Either that or he sped at the blue cone. I think it's the latter of the two because just checked, he went 44 at the pit exit. That gets you caught 99 times out of 100.
He's been having such a good run, and that is just a heartbreaker for him. He's going to need a caution.
That's an understatement. Jurassic still trying to stretch on the gas. Looks to be at least able to get to maybe 49, coming up to 50 laps of the stint. And remember, if you pit too early and there's a caution, or rather come down and pit and you have a spinner, you get pinned a lap down at this track. You do not want to be the driver who gets pinned a lap down because of a spin.
Yeah, and also, you know, when you get used to being on the older tires and you put new ones on, a lot of times that can cause you to make a mistake as well. I mean, you know, these cars on newer tires, especially at this racetrack, very easy to get back on that gas a little too quick and spin that race car out. So just watch out for that. I mean, anytime guys put new tires on, that we very much the probability for a caution goes up.
More calls for pit stops coming in. Rainwater, Leahy, Condon amongst those who already have made their way past the commitment cone. Also expecting more drivers to peel on in. Several calls, including from Lee over the radio. Jurassic's calling this time by. Lachinsky's taking a very conservative entry himself right now. There they are, currently at the pit entry. And Jurassic's coming in with them. He's already said next time by. Here he comes.
He is on older tires. Hopefully he doesn't make a mistake here. Looks like he's going to be able to make it.
Kept it patient. And that leaves just one for now. Tyler Truex, who topped off several times during the stage caution. He needs a caution, and he needs one this second.
Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, this would make all that worthwhile, but that was essentially, he was gambling. He was playing the lottery here. And could he win that lottery? We'll have to wait and see. You could definitely tell he's struggling, though. 25.3 as Justin Clapper comes up to him. Much newer tires. He might get that caution, but it might be because of him.
Yeah, Doesn't work that way if that becomes the case. Here comes down, you'll have Bobby Grant trying to zip on by the 69 coming up here. Keep in mind, Jurassic, with how things have cycled, is behind Cherry and Tyler Chalk on the pylon. Net leader is still Roger Diebold. If things hold firm, Garrett net second.
Yeah, because Jurassic waited so long, those guys were able to really take advantage of those newer tires. Of course, Jurassic has the newer tires now, as we see Matt Cherry, or I should say Tyler Truex, is coming to pit road, and that is going to put Roger Diebold as the leader.
Now, that was a shocking entry from a former NASCAR competitor and rear-wheel driver. He took the apron approach. We mentioned the differences in approaches. The conservative route, you enter in through turn 3 like Richmond. The aggressive, you turn off of the banking in turn 4. Most drivers have done the in-between. Truex with the most conservative entry out of anybody.
And I think that might be because his tires were so bad. I mean, he just kind of from necessity. As we see Roger Diebold, I mean, he has got 3.5 seconds right now back to Matt Garrett. Remember, this is exactly what Diebold wants.
3 wide, meanwhile, Cherry, Chalk, Jurassic. A 2-for-1 for Jurassic out of the corner. Cherry tries to take one back.
This is a significant recovery for Cherry. I mean, he was all the way, I do believe, outside of the top 15 when we went green a little while ago. And now he's all the way back up in the top 5. Good job to him. I mean, top 5 for now, considering Chalk is definitely breathing down his neck.
Still trying to wrap the bottom. Here's a look, meanwhile. Up to McConey. You see the difference between him and Jurassic. That is 2 seconds. 8 seconds back is that 6. That's how significant the difference of about 9-10 laps is on strategy here at this racetrack. However, he'll have the fresher tires to close the gap as long as the traffic cooperates. He's almost a full second faster right now, keep in mind, in clean space.
Yeah, he's about 4/10 faster than the leader, Roger Diebold. And we know, I mean, Jurassic has been the best overall truck all race long. So I have no doubts that he's going to be able to get up here and possibly battle with Roger Diebold. It just depends on if he burns his equipment up by the time he gets up there.
Bad news for, by the way, the reason you may notice Thomas Aaron is slow after his pit stop. On his out lap, he slammed the wall down the front stretch with the right front nose. And Thomas Aaron's chance at a top 5 now needs a caution as well.
That is a heartbreaker. Man, that just is unfortunate, just considering how good that driver had been doing. He had a top 3 run, I think, possibly.
Take a look right now at Diebold. Meanwhile, he's pulled up a couple seconds away from Garrett. Dead even on the tire stints, keep in mind, him and Garrett. Just this long run speed, or rather mid-run speed for Diebold has been so strong. Garrett, he needs to find a way in quick to be able to find some speed, or else he's going to run out of time.
Oh, I think he's more concerned with Jurassic, because, I mean, Jurassic is now under a second behind him. And he is running so much faster, 8/10 faster than Matt Garrett last time by. Jurassic is coming, and I know Diebold as well. He's seeing that. He's like, oh, my goodness, I have got to do something. I have got to. I hope he doesn't see that relative and start to drive harder, because if you do that, you're going to just kind of make it worse.
Here comes Jurassic, meanwhile. He's already zipped by McConey. And now the bumps. Oh, my goodness, Garrett nearly got bumped into the sky.
Yeah, and you see, of course, I do believe that's the birthday boy, Anthony Burleson, getting lapped, or should I say passed by Jurassic here. That is not for position. Yep. He is a lap car.
25 laps to go here at Iowa. We'll take a quick side-by-side. Closing stages here in the second race of the Dark 8.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Grid Vision. Under 20 laps to go. Roger Diebold's lead is down to under 3 seconds as the fresh tires of Jurassic power the two-time stage winner tonight back towards Roger Diebold.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to catch Diebold. Jurassic is running him down almost a half a second faster. Last time by, I do believe, was about 3.5 tenths faster, to be exact. Now, does he push a little harder than he needs to? That's what I think Diebold wants Jurassic to do.
Yeah, this is going to be close. There is traffic between them. Chase Leahy is a potential buffer car in the midst of all this. Back Motorsports machine. So at least there's somebody with them to keep them in check.
Yeah, you know, Leahy's been there behind Diebold pretty much the entire this last run, and he's been maintaining that pace there. Surprised Leahy hadn't been in this battle or up in the top 5. I think he's got a fast race car underneath him.
Down to 1.7 seconds, that gap, and quickly going. Jurassic continuously now running the top to close this gap, getting the run off the banking.
Also, Tyler Chalk just made a pass there on Matt Garrett, moves up to 4th place. What a drive from the 0-7. Got to give credit to Tyler Chalk. I mean, just don't see a lot of this driver. He's been really running good here in this race.
Well, as we said with Tyler Chalk, he's been busy when it comes to his world racing obligations now. Used to be a very regular iRacer. In fact, he was in the conversation one point in the NASCAR ladder we've talked about a little bit. But these days, just looking to get back into the swing of things. Oh, wow. He's one of the faster cars on the racetrack now as a tire specialist in real life and looking to specialize in saving the tires here. Race lead down to under a second. Jurassic has closed the gap, and Leahy has now moved up to the top. Diebold preferring the bottom groove as they spread the dirty air. More traffic ahead as well to utilize.
Yeah, I think Leahy's trying to get his lap back the hard way, and we'll have to see how that affects the run for Jurassic. This is what I think.
Nope.
Looks like he's going to get out of the way. Leahy's just like, okay, battle for the lead. I don't want anybody to be mad at me if I cost him a win here.
Thank you, teammate, can also be said. 12 to go. Plenty of time for Jurassic to go. He is still 2 to 3 tenths of a second quicker per lap. Next up to lap, it's Daniel Half.
Yeah, what a just textbook run for Jurassic. He has clearly been the best truck all race long. And keep in mind, you know, that this is a fixed series. It's not like he made adjustments to that truck or something like that, and it's just better because of his setup. No, he has just been driving the wheels off that thing, and actually not really technically driving the wheels off of it. He's been saving tires like a champ.
All the way to the bumper. 10 laps to go at the stripe. Jurassic getting the ramp off on the diamond. Daniel Half loose in front of them both. Diebold tries to hold firm at the top. Now has Half to use as a pick. Instead, Half picks in front of him. Jurassic to the bumper. They both pass by the 32 as Jurassic looks to the inside for the lead.
You got to know, both Jurassic and Debo hearts are probably pounding in their chest right now with that lap car. Anything could have went wrong right there. Luckily, it did not, as we're now 9 laps to go. Debo still has the lead. Now, it's so difficult to pass on the bottom here, and I think Debo knows that. He is not going to give Jurassic the top lane.
Jurassic again choosing the top at least to start the line. Debo trying to pinch on the exit. 8 to go. Jurassic forced to lift off the gas again and regroup.
Yeah, this is going to come down to the wire. If Debo continues to do what he's doing, he's trying to make it as difficult as he possibly can for him to get by. And it's working. It is very much working, but I don't know. Jurassic has been able to pass even when it seems like it's impossible to pass here.
Can he change the script up, though? A couple times to the bottom. Not working yet. 7 to go.
Yeah, time is running out. Jurassic has got to be getting desperate. Debo wanting to win his way in. He is below the cut line. Of course, either way, no matter what happens here, I think he is going to be above that cut line here tonight.
Both of them trying the diamond. Jurassic is there. Close, he's been on the front stretch, nearly making contact on the bubble. Jurassic on the bottom, Debo in the middle line with the pinch in the 38. Drag race down the back, once again on the send.
This could come down to some contact. I think it might. I mean, you can see just how much these guys want this. Jurassic keeps pushing very hard on the exit of 4. He's going to just resign to be behind him for now. Try to line up yet another run.
5 laps to go. Once again, Jurassic trying to get the side draft. Debo stays up to the top. Jurassic tries to shuffle him up. Stays back to the bottom, though. 4 to go on the pinch again.
My word, this has got to be... Oh, and Jurassic into the outside wall a little bit here.
That hurt him?
That might be what Debo needed right there.
It's not over yet, though. No damage. Here comes the 6. Back along to the bottom. His best chance from the bottom. And a slide as Debo holds on and keeps the lead with 3 to go.
What a race between these two drivers here. Jurassic has got to be just sawing at that wheel, doing everything he possibly can here. He is sending it.
Coming up to 2 to go. Still no edge from Jurassic on the bottom. Debo making him work down there. This time, Jurassic gets a small edge. 2 to go at the stripe. That time by, Jurassic got the lead. Can he take it away?
I think he's got it.
Almost. Debo trying to get the run back. Sends it hard on the brakes. Coming up to the white flag, this time by. Jurassic with the rotation. Gets just about clear with the 1 to go, presented by RL Productions. Debo now goes for the bump. He looks it up to keep it off the fenders.
Yeah, I don't think Debo's going to want to win this race that way, but man, he put up such an effort.
One more chance to send it. No, he can't get there. Jordan Jurassic, welcome to the championship battle. Welcome to the Lightning 4. He wins it at Iowa.
Wow, what a duel between these two drivers. I mean, that was a fantastic performance from both of them. I mean, Debo having to be able to defend as strong as he did there.
Solid runs tonight from Aaron McConey along with Chuck. Cherry recovers to 6th after being in the teens before the pit stop cycle. Matt Garrett slips all the way back to 9th at the top of the checkered.
Yeah, that's not what that driver needed either. I mean, considering he was 1 above the cut line, I do believe he is now, after this race, going to be below the cut line, Justin.
Win number 3 on the season for JWoww. And it's a big one for Jordan Jurassic. This unofficially locks him into the Lightning 4 and a chance to battle for the championship with Ryan Truex in Homestead, Miami. Unofficial race results on screen. Roger Diebold in second. Chalk, Aaron, and McConey the top 5. So Aaron still gets the top 5 despite the damage on the front end. Cherry in 6th. Rainwater, Lachitsky, Garrett, and Grant your top 10.
DJ Lee 11th, Condon 12th, Clapper 13th, Leahy 14th, Half 15th, Burleson, happy birthday to him again, 16th, Tyler Truex 17th, Boundy 18th, that is just a heartbreaker right there, 19th, Schumann, 20th, Neeson.
And Kyle Newkirk having technical issues did not start tonight's race. We'll take a break. 3, 2, 1 with post-race coverage coming up after this. Welcome back to post-race coverage of the Thunderclap iRacing Series playoffs presented by TLC Incorporated, where tonight, Jordan Jurassic punches his ticket to the Lightning 4. Let's start things off with post-race coverage with third place tonight. Tyler Chalk discussing things with Jordan Jurassic actually in the green room. Tyler, welcome back to the top 3, just like old days of 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while, man.
Well, talk about tonight's race when it comes to your effort.
Yeah, we were really good on the long runs. Not great on the short runs, but I knew if this race stayed pretty clean, we'd be all right on the long runs, and thankfully it did that. So,
what made things the most difficult, in your opinion, tonight here at a track like this?
It's just so hard to pass, man. When there's a truck on your outside on the bottom, you can't really get the run. The guys on the top just get around you, so it's really hard to pass, but it makes it for a lot of fun.
Well, in turn, as the racing season gets busy once more, the closing stages in the real world, how's that balance in turn like with the virtual world and this run with a couple races to go in this season for this series?
It's pretty difficult at times, man. Finally getting to sit down and race again, which is a lot of fun, but it's really hard, especially during the middle of the season, man, when you got a lot of work to do.
Well, let you get back to the work. After all, I believe there's some NASCAR races coming up in Darlington for yourself. Congrats on the top 3.
Thank you, man.
Tyler Chalk, third spot tonight. Roger Diebold, also amongst those getting ready for Darlington in real life, but tonight, nearly holding on for the win. One spot short, he was with Brian.
Roger, man, what a run. I mean, we got to give you a lot of credit. I mean, you know, Jurassic was coming up on you so much faster, and it seemed like you were just were you conserving your resources for when he got up to you? Or what was the plan? What could you have done differently there?
I mean, I don't know, man. He pitted quite a few laps after I did. I thought the strategy was going to be pit. Just with a little bit of fall off. It's like a second and a half, almost 2 seconds fall off. I thought, man, if I just pit real quick, as soon as it's open for me, like the fuel window, and then just take off again, I think I'll be far enough out by the time they figure out what's going on that I'll be in good shape. And I think it was just having to go, drive around people. When it's different when you're out in front and you got all that clean air, nothing out, nobody in front of you to dirty up the air. It was a lot different, and I could really save and still be fast, but getting through traffic and stuff, I think I just burnt it up a little bit too much and just didn't have anything there. So had to play a little little bit of dirty air games with him and pinch him down and stuff like that. But man, he was fast. He definitely earned it.
He definitely did. I mean, and you earned that second place as well. I mean, of course, a win for you would have been great. But I do believe with this second place here, Andy also did very well in the stages. I think you're above the cut line here as well. So is that some sense of a relief for you going into Michigan next week?
Yeah, gosh, I hope so, man. I think I went into the race one below the cut line, so I knew I had to do good, and just really couldn't figure out why everybody was so much faster than me in practice and qualifying. But it drives, I mean, to me, everybody will disagree with me, but it drives to me similar to like a Nashville super speedway, which I seem to be really good at. So I just started driving it like that. And it seemed to be working really good there until my tires failed on me. And then, I mean, he's just a little too much there for me.
Well, you did a great job, though. I mean, Michigan's coming up next week. How are you feeling about that? I mean, of course, you're going into Michigan not necessarily in a must-win scenario, but what are your strategies going to Michigan?
Michigan's another track. I really like that one. I seem to do good there for the most part. It just, again, just kind of fits my driving style. So I'm gonna keep trying to this section. I'm just trying to attack as many stage points as I can, and just try to be there. If I can't get the top 5, top 10, for the next couple weeks, and try to win or point my way in. But these guys are definitely not making it easy.
100%. Well, Roger, can we get a quick shout out from you before we let you go?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to give a big shout out to the pool jerks for getting on the podium in the pool jerk truck. I know first time I tried to run it, we had some technical difficulties, and then I don't remember how I did the second time. Must not have been great, but yeah, big shout out to them. I know they all watch in California, especially since I put them all over the truck to try to give them incentive to watch. But yeah, the rest of my family that watches this, all my friends, and my sister that's on the other side of the house that gets to listen to me yell for 2 hours of my night. So just big shout out to all the support and whatnot. Big shout out to, I didn't mention him yet, but big shout out to Greg McConey for making this awesome paint scheme for me. I think it's my favorite one.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, Roger. Hopefully we'll get to see you next week at Michigan, and maybe you'll get you another podium, maybe even a win.
Hey, man, a win would be really nice. I could really relax after that.
Once again, second spot tonight going the way of Roger Diebold, but Jordan Jurassic is the one who is going to Homestead, and the Lightning 4 at least locked in on 2 of the 4 seeds in so far. Jordan, thoughts?
We're going to Homestead, baby, man. I'm pumped. I didn't know if I could make the pass in the last 10 laps. He just kept having the runs, and I just wanted to be patient, but I didn't want to get to a point where I wanted to run into him, which I don't think that would have been an option for me. I probably would, at best, would have done a slide job if I had momentum come off of 2. But we made the pass as clean as possible, and I'm just excited. We're going to championship.
Yes, indeed you are. But in your opinion, what got the job done? You even hit the wall at one point with the back end of the truck, but still got a better run than most from the next corner.
I think it has to go to one of the 400 laps of practice I had yesterday, and so many other laps of practice throughout today's practice, and I was just trying to tune my car to just be perfect and hitting my line, and I thought I was saving enough going into stage 3, but I let about 5 cars pass me. I thought I would have made the passes a little bit easier, which I had to burn my stuff up more than I thought I had, and yeah, I just wanted the long run, and I didn't want no cautions coming at the end, because my short run speed wasn't really the best, because I worked practice all around long run speed, and it really showed there all race, and I'm just proud of my team.
Well, next time out, Michigan to close out this round. Your approach for there, especially knowing one of your teammates, McLovin, did not race tonight as he's moving.
We're gonna try to work on a good setup for him to try to go win to make it to the championship, because it would be perfect to have 2 JCR cars in the championship, and we worked hard enough this season. I would like to have my buddy to be in there with me.
Once again, a reminder, this is a fixed series, so I'm not sure which setup you're referring to there.
Oh, I mean, there's such things you could tune to a fixed setup. I mean,
The brake bias, the steering wheel offset, and your steering wheel ratio?
pretty big. I mean, it showed tonight the long run speed.
Well, on that note, congratulations, Jordan. You're in the Lightning 4.
I appreciate it.
Jordan Jurassic getting the job done tonight here at Iowa. I'd like to thank him and the rest of the top 3 for speaking with us here during post-race coverage here on Grid Vision. And intern Brian, an exciting one here from Iowa Speedway comes to a close. Jurassic just getting it done right before the buzzer.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I mean, he really just ran a flawless race. And that's interesting that he says that the brake bias, I think, really affected his ability to save tire. That's something I really didn't think about. I mean, of course, brakes are important here, but what a great race. I mean, this track is at the top of my list when it comes to favorite tracks, and it's that way for a reason. It puts on great shows. NASCAR, if you're listening, bring the Cup Series here.
Well, on that regard, let's talk about where Grid Vision is going. In the coming days, we mentioned with Build Week, things getting ready to ramp up in about a week or two's time, but this week, NIS, and it's open, and it's top split from Darlington. Can you get it done at Darlington Raceway? Find out 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there or be watching Vision. But on that note, it's time to say goodbye. Our broadcast partner tonight, Brian Britt, for Austin Jarby Shire, on Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series Playoffs, presented by TLC Incorporated from Iowa Speedway. Congratulations to Jordan Jurassic. He's up to the Lightning 4.